All right, some bad news for home buyers today. Mortgage rates back up after 5 straight weeks of declines. The 30-year fix jumping to 6.39%. That's from 6.27 according to Freddie Mac. 1 year ago, those rates 5.11. So what does this mean for the state of the housing industry? We welcome in Nicole Bachaud, Zillow senior economist. Nice to see you. So what do you think this means? Are we going to plateau right at this rate and remain frozen in the housing market for the rest of the year?
We're not really expecting rates to move dramatically from where they are right now. This kind of 6.5% that we've seen bouncing around over the past couple of weeks is pretty likely to be somewhere within that realm for the rest of the year, right? We're not going to see the rates we saw in 2021, coming back anytime soon. What we are seeing right now is inventory is super low on the market, and that's really what's causing a lot of the fluctuation, as well as these rate increases that are really, blocking both buyers and sellers from being able to interact.
Nicole, you just mentioned those inventory levels. Are they going to improve at all, given the fact that maybe the spring buying season we could see a little bit more traction?
So we've seen prices starting to increase this spring, but I think a lot of that is just due to the fact that those buyers who can't afford to shop are shopping, and there's not any homes for them to look at, right? We have these sellers who are locked into their 3% rates and aren't really willing or able to give up that home, and they're sitting on that existing inventory. Our new listings are way down. That's leading to overall inventory remaining tight, and that's going to continue to, lead to high prices and affordability challenges.
Existing home sales in today down 2.4% from February, down 22% year over year. Tells you what about the road ahead?
So, that shows us, again, both on the side of sellers not being able or willing to list their homes because of the low rates they're locked in at, and also buyers facing these affordability challenges. Both sides are leading to those lower sales numbers, and affordability is really the sticking factor there. And mortgage rates do have the biggest impact on mortgage affordability in this market.
Pricing, what are you seeing on a regional basis? And I guess, what does that signal just in terms of what we could expect here for the remainder of the year, possibly?
So we've seen some price stabilization and kind of price corrections in some markets, that especially markets where affordability is the biggest hurdle. We're looking at Inland West and West Coast markets have seen, some of the larger kind of price corrections happening, just as we're getting back into a place where we can find mortgage affordability again. And it looks like it's going to be, honestly, a pretty long time before we're back to what we historically saw as, what mortgage affordability should look like. So, as far as regional changes in prices, those Western markets have seen a lot of movements, but really we're starting to see things kind of picking up again this spring across countries, across the country, in different regions. As the spring, like I said, the competition is coming back into the market with, buyers ready to buy and few homes that are available for them to look at. That's going to increase prices across the board.
Yeah, of the National Association of Realtors, the numbers they have out today, 3 regions up, and then the West down 7.5%. And the numbers we saw yesterday from Redfin showed Boise, Idaho down 15+%, and Austin and Sacramento and San Francisco all down double figures year over year. But are they still okay in terms of pre-COVID numbers? Are you underwater? Are you still doing okay if you own a home out west?
Yeah, when you hear something like down 10% or 15%, in home prices, that can be really shocking. But when you look at the fact that a lot of those markets were up 40, 50% from 2019 levels, we still have the vast majority of homeowners in a really good position when we look at equity. We still see foreclosures near historic lows. We don't have a lot of people underwater or in distressed situations. And this market is pretty friendly to folks who need to sell their home if that's an option that you wanted to face. Being able to sell your home on this market is really easy, and in terms of there are a lot of buyers who are going to be willing to look at it. So.
Nicole, what are you seeing from a rental perspective? Because I'm looking at the latest numbers here from CoreLogic showing that growth is significantly slowing. That has been the case over the last couple of months. Is that consistent with what you're seeing, and by how much?
Yeah, so we are seeing rents starting to slow down a little bit, about 0.5% down in terms of rent prices from the last month. And, that just tells us that, we're seeing this affordability issue in rentals as well. We're seeing, a lot of folks kind of staying put where they're at. And as we've had the kind of a shift over the past several months from single family construction to multifamily construction, getting those multifamily units out there has been able to increase the rental vacancy rate, which does put less pressure on prices. And that affordability kind of breathing room for renters is going to be really helpful in a time that we've had a lot of challenges in the economy and there are a lot of hits to budgets. So finding that stabilization in rent prices is going to be really helpful for renter households to be able to recover.
When you're the Zillow senior economist, you probably get a lot of friends texting you questions like, when is a good time for me to buy, Nicole? What do you tell them?
Yes. Yeah. So, when the right time to buy for you is a really personal decision that has a lot of factors that don't have to do with the housing market. If you're looking at, how do I time the market right? It's really important to, first of all, have your finances in order, understand what it's going to take to get you qualified for a mortgage and understand what price of a home and what price of a mortgage you can realistically qualify for. Get your credit up. Work with multiple lenders to make sure that you're getting the best rates and quotes and
but
fees.
Nicole, I'd be texting you back. I'd be saying, I know all that. When are conditions going to be favorable for me to jump back in this pool?
Yeah, we're not really seeing a market that's going to be super, super friendly in the ways that, we've maybe seen in the past, at least for the rest of this year, right? We're still going to see rates being challenging. We're still going to see inventory being challenging. And so really working to find ways to make this market work, buying discount points, using a 2-1 buy down, tapping into down payment assistance resources. Those things are going to be able to help bridge that gap for those looking to transact in this market.
All right, Nicole Bachaud, great to have you, Zillow senior economist. Thanks so much.